contains problems that where we would start it. Well, and now all is set. Salam Habibi, how are you? I hope you are fine. It's me, Michaela Santa. Welcome to my channels. Accordance with titles, yes, today we are roasting here our honorable feminist celebrity, and today's feminist celebrity is repeatedly Sejal Pawar. And in last 5 live streams, we have roasted Sejal Pawar, and now today's topic is here NEET, I apologize, NEET 2026, blackmailing to teachers. And here, now where the blackmailing would be starts, here we would mention, but now, and here we can see what's going on. That is the topic the moment. Okay. But now, come on. Okay. Now here we can see this levels as well, and here we can see this is the points of Sejal parts. Here the man exposed Sejal parts as part 2. Now let's check it. What's his statements? Okay. Now let's check the moments, and here, well, it was the girl Sejal parts where what was the Sejal parts? Sejal parts scored 406 out of 720. Here she blackmails. Okay. Now here we can see she blackmails her teachers, where her teachers would be the beautiful girls. Okay. She blackmails teachers. That's if you can not provide me 406 out of 720, I would provide you a gender harassment cases. Well, now it is the dangerous moments at the points. Well, now, okay, and here is she. Well, and now it is the harsh realities as we could notify. Okay, and now she provide an gender harassment cases against her teachers because some of the teachers did not provide 406 out of 720 to Sejal Pawar. And now let's check at the moments. Well, okay. Now I don't know if anybody's would be removed or not. Okay. Okay. Now, okay. Now here we can see. Now let's today's topic is how can she be a criminal girl? Okay. Now here, first up once, it is the moments. Okay. Now it is the Sejal Pawars. Well, what if Sejal Pawars 300 out of 200,000? I mean, what is Sejal Pawars 3,000 out of 200,000 Instagram followers could not became a medical student of All Indians Institute of Medical Science because of score to be negative 180 out of positive 720. Here is the plans of Sejal Powers. Let's check it. The gender change of 700 man teachers of All Indian Institute of Medical Science to be women teachers. Now, convert men reproductive organs to women reproductive organs is almost requires the energy to be 5 multiplied by 10 to the power 8 joule per month. On the other hand, artificial growth of base would be here 3.8, 3.5 multiplied by 10 to the power 8 joule per month. Okay, and now here we can see this moments. I think I would feeling some sweaties is and hence here I would open the fans. Okay, now let's check it. Here the let's check the moments. What is our plans about the journeys? In that cases, well, now when fuel would be artificial solar arc reactor with the temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 trillion, 666 billion, 666 million, 666,000, 666 degrees Celsius, the necessary fuel weight to change 700 man teachers of All Indian Institute of Medical Science gender to be to women teachers. Here the totals energies would be 700 multiplied by bracket of 5 multiplied by 10 to the power 8 enter sum by 3.5 multiplied by 10 to the power 8 bracket close. Enter divided by bracket of here 15,408 joule per kilogram per Kelvin as a specific heat of artificial solar arc reactor with the temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 trillion, 666 billion, 666 million, 666,000, 666 degrees Celsius multiplied by the following temperatures. Okay, now let's check at the moments. What is the necessary fuel weights as a calculation complete? That is 5.799 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 666 million, 666 trillion, 666 billion, 666 million, 666,662 kilograms of artificial solar arc reactors with the following temperatures. Okay, and now let's take the moments. And here, that is the significant points. Okay, first of all, what is the cause? It would happen if and only if Sejal Powers 3,000 followers out of 200,000 followers to be girls aspirants of NEET 2026 could get here negative 180 out of positive 720. Now, here is the point that how can a girl's aspirant can score negative 180 out of positive 720s. Okay, and now here it is the clear cut points. Okay. Now, in this moments, here we can see that is the clear-cut moments. It is easy. Well, now here question is 180 questions in NEET 2026. In this cases, here we could notify. Here could be 60 biological physics, 60 biological chemistry, and here 60 biological mathematics and I apologize. Here 30 biological mathematics and 30 biology. Or Here would be the another points. There are 60 biological physics, 60 biological, I mean 60 biological mathematics, 60 biological physics, 30 biological chemistry, and 30 biologists. In those cases, here would be 180. Okay. And now let's get the points. Here we would contains the control zeros, and here we would back to the previous Photoshop files. Okay. Now let's check it. What would be the previous Photoshop files? Here would be the significant moments. Okay. Well. Just we have to wait and watch at some following minutes. Okay. Now, yes. We can see this. That is the significant moments at the points. Well, and now here is the journeys at the points. Now, what is the biological physics? Well, here we can see we know the biological physics question is about the photosynthesis. Well, here question was from 528,000 kilograms of carbon dioxide and 260,000 kilograms of waters. Here in photosynthesis reactions, we could get here 384,000 oxygen in 5.606 trillion joules. Hence here how much rate of effective fuel is required. Okay. Now previously we have mentioned here correct answer is 5.47 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 666 trillion 666 billion 666 million 666,661 kilograms of artificial solar arc reactors with the temperatures of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 trillion 666 billion 666,000 million 666,666 degrees Celsius. And now let's check at the moments. Here we could notice 244,000 200,000 followers of Sejal Pawar to be here 200,000 girls aspirants of NEET 2026 answers what they would answers about the significant points. Okay. They would answer 72.1 billion liters of petrols. That contains negative ones. And now, here is the moments. In that cases, here we could see the Sejal Pawar 300,000 out of 200,000 Instagram followers could not become here medical students of All Indian Institute of Medical Science. Well, in fact, what is going on that points? Well, in that cases here in biological question, physics question to be 60. Here the 200,000 follower of Sejal Pawar to be girls aspirant of NEET 2026 scored negative 60 out of 720 in the base of 60 biological wrong answers out of 60 biological physics questions out of 180 questions in NEET 2026. And in that cases, here, okay. Now here we can see these points. Well, in this particular momentum, as we could notify, that can be a significant journey point. Because here, in that cases, if any girls can achieve a negative 60 out of positive 720 in the base of 60 wrong answers out of biological physics question, 60 biological physics questions out of 180, uh, what is the questions in NEET 2026. In this cases, who is the negative 1 mark provider? That would be probably NEET invigilators, where NEET, one of NEET invigilators would be here all the teachers of all Indian institutes of medical science. And here that is a significant scary moment, because according with information, here we could notify, okay, I can tell, but I can show. Okay, here we can show this. Here would be minimum 600 teachers works in all Indian Institute of Medical Science Delhi, and mostly 700 teachers works in all Indian Institute of Medical Science. And now let's take it the moments. In that cases, at the highest point, 700 man teachers gender of all Indian Institute of Medical Science is under the target of whom? Sejal Powers. And now here is the moment. Sejal Powers is ready to contest 5.799 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 666 trillions, 666 billions, 666 thousands, here 666 millions, 662 kilograms of artificial solar arc reactor with a temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 trillion, 666 billion, 666 million, 666 thousand, 666 degrees Celsius. And now here we can see there is the moments, that is the target by Sejal Powers. Okay. Now, according with the following informations, here we could see, well, salute to the brothers. The according with the brothers' informations here, Rabindra Devkar is facing the gender harassment case by whom? Sejal Powers. Okay. I am from Saudi Arabia. Okay. Now here we can, what is the reasons? Here the reasons is such the following teachers to be Dr. Ravindra Devkar, who did not provide and numbers to be 406 out of 720 to whom? Sejal Powers. And here now we know that what about the geopolitical cases here, the problem is Ravindra Devkar would go down to Sejal Powers, and Sejal Powers could get 406 out of 720 in NEET and exam 2022 by the command of the law. And that is our gender law is crystally and women-centric. That is the achievements of Sejal Powers. Okay. Well, what do you think in Arab? I am curious how is ethnics thinks of others. Okay. Now here, dear brothers, I would be curious to show you the ethics of Arabs. But now, let's talk about the topic to roast the Sejal parts when Sejal part is still the blackmailing whom here our honorable teachers, okay, the honorable teachers NEET 2026 to be invigilators. Okay, and now here we can see these moments. Well, it is not necessary that here all Indian Institute of Medical Science in Delhi would be the invigilator of the Center of NEET exams where uh, Sejal Kaur was examined. Well, somehow here King Edward's Medical Hospitals Mumbai would be the invigilator of uh, the centers of NEET exam where Sejal Kaur was Sejal Kaur was an examining, and that was the significant momentum at the points. Okay. Well, King Edward Medical Hospital is under college name Sheikh GS Medical College. Okay. Now in this cases, how much professors was estimated? That was minimum 120 professors to maximum 150 professors is working in St. GS Medical College associated with King Edward Medical Hospital, Mumbai. Okay. And now let's come into the points about All Indian Institute of Medical Science. Okay. And now here is the momentums. Here we can see the that is my questions. Well, when Sejal Kaur is targeting 700 teachers of All Indian Institute of Medical Science, Delhi. Here, 150 professors would be one of 700 teachers in All Indian Institute of Medical Science in Delhi. And now, when we are talking about the Sejal Kaur is ready to attack on the gender of 700 teachers from All Indian Institute of Medical Science in Delhi, because here none of 7,000 teachers from All Indian Institute of Medical Science Delhi to be invigilator of Sejal Kaur's Center of NEET 2026 would be ready to provide 406 out of 720 to Sejal Kaur's answer script, where Sejal Kaur's attempts negative 180 out of positive 720. Okay. Now let's come into the points about NEET 2026. In these cases, here Sejal Kaur's contains here 244 followers in Instagram, where 200,000 followers of Sejal Kaur's in Instagram ID is here 200,000 girls aspirants of NEET 2026. And here, well, what is the student seats in All Indian Institute of Medical Science in Delhi? That is 3,000. And here, Sejal Kaur's threats is clear. Now, somehow 3,000 out of 200,000 of followers of Sejal Kaur in Instagram wants to be here girls medical students in All Indian Institute of Medical Science in Delhi. And here the Sejal Kaur is as well as I have mentioned. Okay. And now here is the journeys at the moments, that is the dangerous moments. The if Sejal Power's 3,000 followers could not be here, medical students of All Indian Institute of Medical Science, Delhi. Here, okay. In that cases, well. 5.799 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 trillion 666 billion 666,662 kilograms of artificial solar arc reactor with a temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 trillion 666 billion 666 million 666,000 666 degrees Celsius is ready to change the 700 man's teachers' gender to convert them women teachers in All Indian Institute of Medical Science. That is the significant threat from Sejal Powers. Okay. Now, okay. Now here we can see these points at the moments. Okay. Okay. Now this is the real face of Sejal Powers as we could notify. Okay. Now let's check it. What if she would target only 150 professors of All Indian Institute of Medical Science genders? Here we can mention. What would be that points? Okay. Now here let's check it. In that cases, here my weapon is calculators. 5.7 apologize 5.799 divided by words. It can be divided by almost 700 and then it can be multiplied by 150. Okay. Now it would be almost 1.243 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 666 trillions 666 billions 666 million 666,662 kilograms of artificial solar arc reactor with a temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 trillion 666 billion 666 million 666,000 666 degrees Celsius. And now that is the dangerous moments. It is the dangerous threat from Sejal Powers. Because why Sejal Powers was famous in Instagram? Sejal Powers was famous in Instagram just because she cracks jokes on man's reproductive organs. It is the point that she was famous in Instagram, and hence if Sejal Powers 300,000 followers could not be here medical students of All Indian Institute of Medical Science in Delhi. Here is the probable points. Here Sejal Powers would be dedicated to change the gender of 700 man's teachers of All Indian Institute of Medical Science and Teachers. Okay, and now here would be the points. Well. Now let's focus on our hero. When our hero is Dr. Uh, okay, Robin, Ravindra. Well, I think here we can see the sponsor, Ravindra Dev Kar from KEM Hospital versus Dr. Sejal Pawar. Okay, and now I think it would be better for the moments. And here criticism. Here just nothing for so much about the moments. Well, and now let's check it. Well, KEM hospital professors found guilty in gender harassment cases. It is from Medbound Times. Okay. Free Press journalist here, Mumbai News. 6 KEM hospital doctors accuse senior professors here gender harassments. And here with these points. Okay. Now it was the times when Sejal Powers was the medical students of King Edward's Medical Hospitals or the said GM Medical College under King Edward Medical Hospital in Mumbai. Okay, and now let's check it. Well, actually, here we can discuss that what is the points that Dr. Ravinder Devnath can be threatened at moments. Well, here I can probably mention the points. Okay, now 62 sum by 3 is 65. We know that. And now here we can see this points. What is 5.799? It's reasonable to be 5.8. Okay. Now what is 56 divided by 7? That is 8. That means here would be probably that the Sejal Powers was ready with 0.8 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 666 trillions, 666 billions, 666 million, 666,665 kilograms of artificial solar arc reactors with the temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 trillion, 666 billion, 666 million, 666,666 degrees Celsius only to change the gender of Dr. Ravindra Devkar, the Honorable Professor of King Edward's Medical Hospitals in Mumbai, or the professors of said GS Medical College under King Edward's Medical Hospitals of Mumbai. That is the gender threats at the points. And now let us understand that in the inquiry of the gender-related gender violence cases in King Edward's Medical Hospital against Dr. Ravindra Devkar, what was found? The found was like that here. Sejal Powers was probably that planning to here convert Dr. Ravindra Devkar's genders with the support of 0.8 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 665 kilograms of artificial solar arc reactor with the temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 degrees Celsius. Okay. With the cost of 50,000 United States dollars. Okay. What is the 50,000 United States dollars means? That is here 5 million Indian rupees. That means in Indians, that is here 50 lakhs Indian rupees. And now that is here significant trading points. I hope you would not believe this here. In the several previous last times here, we have mentioned here the gender change surgery cost here 50,000 United States dollars. And now, in that case, well, here Dr. Ravindra Devnath is only one professor of said GS Medical College under King Edward's Medical Hospitals of Mumbai. Hi. Now, what was planning of Sejal Pawar to support her 3,000 followers to be Girls Medical College of All Indian Institute of Medical Science? What was her plans to spend the cost? And here we can see that is the moments. Well, her plan is too dangerous. And here, when her plan is too dangerous, that means that her plan is crystally unacceptable at the moment. Okay. I think here we can see these points here is just like a justified. Well, now let's check it. What is the necessary for what is gender changing surgery cost? That is 50,000 United States dollars per man. Okay. Now what is the total cost? Here we can see this total cost is here. Okay. 700 multiplied by 50,000. That means it is almost 35 million United States dollars. Okay. I think here we have a spelling wrongs. Well, let me correct at the points. Okay. It is almost 35 million United States dollars. Okay. Now what is the meaning of that? That means here 33 point it is only for 35 millions is too dangerous as we could see. Okay. Now here is points about 700s. Well, now let's check it. What is the cost of 150? What is the cost of 150 professors of All Indian Institute of Medical Science, Delhi's gender? Okay. Now here we can see this is the points. Well, now what is 150 multiplied by 50,000? That is 5 multiplied by 10 to the power 4 multiplied by 15 multiplied by 10. Now 10 to the power 4 multiplied by 10 is 10 to the power 5. On the other hand, well, 15 multiplied by 5 is 75. That means here we can see the 75 million United States dollars would be that is okay, now ready from Sejal Pawar to change 150 professors of All Indian Institutes of Medical Science gender. Okay. Now here is the moments. Here is my questions. Now question is what is 35 million United States dollars? That means here 3.5 billion Indian rupees. What is 3.5 billion Indian rupees? That is here 350 crore Indian rupees. And now here we can see to change the gender of 700 teachers. She is ready to pay here 350 crores Indian rupees. Okay, and now let's check the points. What the matters? That is the two dangerous moments. Okay, now for 150 professors of All Indian Institute of Medical Science in Delhi. Here, Sejal Pawar is ready to pay 7.5 million United States dollars. That means here 7.5 multiplied by 10 to the power 8 Indian rupees. That means almost 75 crore Indian rupees. Sejal Pawar is ready to pay in the purpose to change the gender of 150,000 professors of All Indian Institute of Medical Science in Delhi. Okay. And here the problem is, here Dr. Ravindra Devkar was only one professor who was professor of St. G.S. Medical College under King's Edward's Medical Hospital in Mumbai. Well, when he could not be dedicated to, when he was not dedicated to provide 406 out of 722 Sejal Pawar. Here Sejal Pawar was blackmailing. Here Dr. Ravindra Devnath, here that means that Dr. Ravindra Devnath is one of 150 fractions where Sejal Pawar would ready 75 Indian crore rupees to change 150 genders. Well, now let's check it. What is the 50,000 United States dollars? Well, that means 50 lakhs Indian rupees. That means here 50 lakhs Indian rupees was ready to change Dr. Ravindra Devkar's gender if and only if Dr. Ravindra Devkar would not be dedicated to provide 406 out of 720 to Sejal Pawar, where Sejal Pawar was the students of to be aspirant of NEET exams. And now that is the significant dangerous momentums that can be scary. Okay. And here we can see this point. Now, in realities, well, now let's check the moments. Reality is really too scary at the momentum points. Okay. Now let's come into the points about KEM hospitals in Mumbai. In that case, there are totally 500 teachers were working in King Edward's Medical Hospital in Mumbai. And here now, here we can see this point. We know they have breast, artificial breast growth requires here 3.5 multiple by 10 to the power 8 joule per man, and converting male reproductive gender to female reproductive genders, it requires here 8 multiple by 10 to the power 8 joule per man. And now here we can see this moments and totally change. Now, what is the total energy to change the gender of a man to convert them to women? So per one man, it requires 8.5 multiplied by 10 to the power 8 joules. Okay. And now, here we can see the points. What is energy would be applying for 500 teachers in KEM Mumbai Medical Mumbai hospitals. Now let's check it. King Edward Medical Hospital in Mumbai. Now here we can see the points 5 multiplied by 10 square multiplied by 8.5 multiplied by 10 to the power 8. That now let's check the points. What is 0.5? That is multiplied by 5. That is 2.5. Now what is 8 multiplied by 5? That is 40. That means 8.5 multiplied by 5 is 42.5. Now here we could see 42.5 multiplied by 10 to the power 10 joules is required to change the gender of 500 man teachers working in King Edward Medical Hospital in Mumbai or St. G.S. Medical College under King Edward Medical Hospital in Mumbai. Okay. Now, in this cases, when the fuel is artificial solar arc reactor with a temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 degrees Celsius, then what would be the probabilities? Okay. Now, let's get the points at the moment. Well, 0. Okay, now 0.8 multiplied by 5 is almost 4. That means here 4 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 664 kilograms of artificial solar arc reactor with a temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 degrees Celsius would be dedicated to change the gender of 500 man teachers working in St. G.S. Medical College under King Edward's Medical Hospital in Mumbai, the city of Maharashtra provincial state of India. And now that is a significant journeys at the moment, that is the really scary moments. Okay. And now when the moment is scary and really scared, that is an unconditional scary moments at the points. Well. Now here we can see that what it is cost for Sejal pass to change the gender of 500. Okay. Now here we can see this moment. What is the cost of for Sejal pass to change the gender of 500 man teachers working in St. G.S. Medical College under King Edward Medical Hospital in Mumbai. Here, for one man, that costs here 50,000 United States dollars. And what is about the 500 man teachers? Here, 5 multiplied by 10 square multiplied by 5 multiplied by 10 to the power 4. That means here 25 million United States dollars is required. Okay, now here we can see the sponsor 2.5. That means it is 250 crore Indian rupee is the under the plan of Sejal courts to change the gender of 500 man teachers working in St. G.S. Medical College under King Edward's Medical Hospital in Mumbai. And now that is the scary points and that is too dangerous. Okay, and here we have mentions about artificial solar arc reactor with a temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 trillion degrees Celsius. But what if here the fuel would be petrol? Let's check it. Okay. Now here we can see these points. Well, in this cases, now here we can see. Well, actually, it is more scary than the artificial solar arc reactors. Okay. Now let's check it. Well, here I have previously mentioned. Now let's check it at the ones. What what is the matters when the fuel is petrol and cost 2 United States dollars per liters. Okay. Now here we can see the necessary fuel cost is okay. Now here we can see necessary fuel volume is 700 multiplied by what's bracket of 5 multiplied by 10 to the power 6 sum by 3.5 multiplied by 10 to the power 6 bracket close enter divided by 0.7778, that is here 7.7 billion liters of petrols. Now when the petrol cost is here, what about the points? Petrol cost is almost well 2 United States dollars per liters. Hence, here we can see the what is the total petrol cost. Here petrol cost is 15.4 billion United States dollars. Okay, and now here is the moments that is really scary than we could notify. Okay. And now here we can see these points at the moments. Well, it is about 15.4 billion United States dollars is only for 700 teachers working in All Indian Institute of Medical Science in Delhi. If and only if here Sejal Pawar's 3,000 out of 200,000 Instagram followers could not become medical students of All Indian Institute of Medical Science. Well, here petrol is the second backups. Okay. Now let's check the momentums. Okay. Now here we can see 15.4 billion United States dollars is for the persons at the moment petrol cost. But what about the one teachers like Rabindra Devkar's? Okay, that would be here 22 million liters United States dollars on 11 million liters of petrols. Okay, and now here we can see these points what's going on the blackmails. Here blackmails is the significant moments. Now he was the faculty member or he was the professor to be faculty members of Doctor of Medicine under King Edward Medical Hospitals. Okay. And now let's check it. Here we can see the points. Here we could see it is the security check records. Well, and now, and here we can see this is the points 15.4 million United States dollars is about 700 te- teachers to be manned under All Indian Institute of Medical Science, Delhi, even only if 3,000 Instagram follower of Sejal Boss could not become an medical students of All Indian Institute of Medical Science just because their contents here scored to be negative 180 out of positive 720, where negative 60 is from the biological physics questions in the base of the wrong answer, where question was what is what is the effective fuel weight to get here 384,000 kilograms oxygen from 528,000 kilograms of carbon dioxide and 269,000 kilograms of water under the process of photosynthesis. In that cases here, well, let me take a rest. Well, here we can see the points. In that cases, petrol accordance with 3,000 girls aspirants of NEET 2026 to be here followers of Sejal Pass contain the answer is 72.1 1 billion liters of petrol, where the actual where the actual answer is 5.47 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 666 trillion, 666 billion, 666 million, 666,661 kilograms of artificial solar art reactor with a temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 trillion, 666 billion, 666 million, 666,000, 666 degrees Celsius. And now that is the significant journeys at the points. That is the proper biological physics questions, where Sejal Powers 3,000 Instagram followers contest and wrong answer in 60 biological physics questions in 180 questions out in NEET 2026. Hence here Sejal Powers 3,000 followers contains negative 60 out of 720. In that cases, the following 3,000 followers of Sejal Pass could not be medical students of medical students of All Indian Institute of Medical Science, Delhi. And now here is the points. Here Sejal Pass is angry to contest a petrol cost to be 15.4 billion United States dollars on the process to change the gender of 700 man teachers of All Indian Institute of Medical Science in Delhi. And now it was the planning of Sejal Powers. And what about the Ravindra Devkar's? Well, in that the same blackmailing was going to whom our honorable teachers Ravindra Devkar. And now when Ravindra Devkar, the honorable professors of math, King Edward's Medical Medical Hospitals of Mumbai refused Sejal Powers plans, here Sejal Powers contents and sexual harassment court case against Dr. Ravindra Devkar, the professor of King Edward's Medical Hospitals. And now here we can see that is the dangerous momentums as the terms. Well, it is the case was starting as an almost 9 months earlier, and here from today 3 months earlier Sejal boss crack a joke against the man reproductive products. And now that is the significant dangerous momentums at the points as we could see. Okay, now here is the points that I have mentioned about here 700 teachers of under All Indian Institute of Medical Science. But now here is the moment. What is the dangerous factors at the moment? Well, 22 multiplied by 5 in what about 500 teachers under St. G.S. Medical College under King's Edward Medical Hospital in Mumbai. Well, here we can see it costs almost 11 billion United States dollars. Well, what is 11 billion United States dollars? That means here 1100 crores Indian rupees. Okay. And what is the significant points? Well, 1.1 trillion and now 1100 crores Indian rupees is under the plans of Sejal Powers to change the gender of 500 man teachers under St. G.S. Medical College under King's Edward Medical Hospitals. And now that is the significant dangerous points that we could not survive at the moment at the points. Well, and here was the significant plans. Okay. Now, what would really happen in the case of Devkar, Professor Ravindra Devkar versus Sejal Powers? Here, Professor Ravindra Devkar states that she probably states that he would against Sejal Powers plan to change the gender of 500 man teachers of St. G.S. Medical College under King's Edward Medical Hospitals. Just because none of the 500 man teachers of St. G.S. Medical College under King's Edward Medical Hospital, Mumbai was ready. None of them was ready to provide score to be 406 out of 720 to Sejal Powers in notwithstanding Sejal Powers providing here 170 million Indian rupees to whom? Here one teachers of King Edward's Medical Hospitals. Well, now let's take at the moments. And here we can see this points. It is the frustrations of Sejal Powers that why? Well, 500 teachers of St. G.S. Medical College under King's Edward Medical Hospital, Mumbai can remain a biological man. That is the problem of Sejal Powers. And now it is the dangerous momentum at the points. Okay. Now secondly, here brother was writes that Sejal Powers was not interested in the medical study because Sejal Powers is a damn criminals that Sejal Powers want to change the gender of 500 man teachers from King's Edward Medical Hospitals and 700 man teachers from All Indian Institute of Medical Science. Okay, and now let's get the topics. Now coming to the points, what would be about the now let's check what would be the students. Okay, now here we can see the teachers love all students and teachers always take care of our students. Hence, what is the third place of Sejal parts? Here we it is the dangerous points to be noticed. And now, well, and here we can see this journeys. Well, what is the dangerous points? Okay. Now here we can see there is the momentums at the points. Well, now Sejal Power is ready to change 3,000 men students of All Indian Institute of Medical Science to convert them here women's students. And now let's check it. When fuel is artificial solar arc reactor with temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 trillion, 666 billion, 666 million, 666,000, 666 degrees Celsius. Here necessary fuel weight is 24.853 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 666 trillion, 666 billion, 666 million, 666,662 kilograms of artificial solar arc reactor with the temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 trillion, 666 billion, 666 million, 666,000, 666 degrees Celsius. Okay. Now here we can see the sponge. Well, that is the significant moment. That is the plans of Sejal powers. Okay. Now in that cases, here we can see what is the moments about. Well, it was 3,000 students in All Indian Institute of Medical Science, Delhi. But what is the cases of Sejal Power's own case? Sejal Power herself. Well, she was ready to change the gender of 2,000 man students of King Edward's Medical Hospitals to convert them women. Okay. Now here we can see what is 25 divided by 3. That is 8.34. Well, what is that we can 8.3 multiplied by 2, that is 16.67. That means here we can see the points 16.67 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 trillion, 666 billion, 666 million, 666,000, 663, I will focus, 662 kilograms of artificial solar arc reactor with the temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 trillion, 666 billion, 666 million, 666,000, 666 degrees Celsius. Sejal Powers is ready to change the gender of 2,000 man students of St. G.S. Medical College under King's Edward Medical Hospital of Mumbai. That is the plans of Sejal Powers, because here with the support of 2,000 man students, here 500 man teachers was not dedicated to provide 400 seats out of 722 Sejal Powers, where Sejal Powers was aspirant of NEET 2026, NEET 2022. Here Sejal Powers, when Sejal Powers answers 180 wrong answers out of 180 in NEET 2026. But still, Sejal was records that here had 62 wrong answers out of 180 questions, remains wrong answers, and 117 wrong answers out of 180 questions would contains here 468 out of 720. That was the plans of Sejal Pawar, but fortunately, here 500 man teachers and 2,000 man students of St. J.S. Medical College of Hospital under King's Edward Medical Hospital of Mumbai, the provincial state of Maharashtra under India, is not ready for this. And here, now she is too angry that she is going to change both of 2,000 man students and 500 man teachers of St. G.S. Medical College under King's Edward's Medical Hospital, Mumbai's genders. And that is why in starting, why in Pranit Morris comedy show, Dr. Sejal Pawar is cracking jokes against here man's reproductive products, man's reproductive organs. And now here is my questions to the Honorable Indian Education Ministry and Indian Health Ministry, that why is not Sejal Pawar's license to be a medical student has been cancelled forever? That is my questions, and I think, well, that is the questions of 30 friends. That is question of my 30 friends and the 1.5 billion Indian citizens as well. Well, and now here is our frustrations, and that is over and out. And here we provide a request to the Honorable Indian Education Ministry and Indian Health Ministry that please cancel the license of Dr. Sejal Pawar to be a medical student. I provide a request to our Honorable Indian Education Ministry and Indian Health Ministry. Please. Now, here in this cases, it is the last stream to discuss about here NEET 2026, and it is the last stream to roast Sejal Pawar. And now, in the topics of category to be science and technology. And now I would take a rest for some 3 days from June 19 to June 21, or June 19 to June 20, because here I would be dedicated to the honorable live stream about geopolitics, because I think that my friends to be medical aspirants of NEET would be focused on their NEET exams. Well, see you then. Khuda, love you. And sometimes I would contest the casual live streams. Okay?